Part of the funding for an expansion project planned at Marbles Kids Museum is now up in the air a little bit. It comes after the Trump administration announced an executive order shrinking 7 federal agencies, and that includes the Institute of Museum and Library Services, which provided the museum with a grant to do this work last year. WRAL's Heidi Kirk shows us how the museum plans to move forward with that project.
Marbles Kids Museum is where Tierra Bethel wanted to spend her 35th birthday.
It's just a joy seeing all the little kids enjoy all the different spots.
There are a lot of smiling faces here, especially after the museum announced its largest expansion project ever, including 2 new exhibits and a multi-purpose classroom. The museum is relying on funding through Wake County, a fundraising campaign of its own, and a federal grant from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. That grant, totaling more than $244,000, is now uncertain after the Trump administration's executive order shrinking the agency and the announcement that all employees have been placed on leave. It's upsetting for people like Bethel.
It's just sad in general, all the way around, to be honest with you.
We reached out to the museum with questions about how this will impact the funding. In a statement, a spokesperson says Marbles has not yet been made aware of any impacts of the grant funding from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. And, quote, Marbles is fully committed to moving forward with our expansion project, thanks to generous funding from Wake County and donors to our Bigger Play, Brighter Futures capital campaign, end quote. They say they have not yet received any of the grant funding. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, Raleigh.
A spokesperson from the museum tells us the fundraising campaign has raised more than $8.5 million toward that project already. They say an additional $500,000 is still needed.